Today we're going to be talking about the Schneider Electric Square D products, and we have a guest from Square D, Schneider Electric, Mike Razzano, with us today. We're going to get into a little bit of a background about the products they offer and what SSDI purchases currently with Schneider. Some of the products that we use in our integrated cabinets are the panel boards, breakers, and we also purchase switchboards, eye-line panels, and eye-line breakers. Of course, there is a full line of products available through Schneider Electric, which Mike will step in here and fill us in on the other things that they offer besides just what we use. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you being here today. Please let us know more about what Square D Schneider Electric offers other than just the panel boards and switchboards, eye-line panels that we currently purchase from you guys.
Well, thanks for having us. I appreciate being here.
Yeah.
Square D Schneider is a worldwide company. Making our division is a Square D division. We make the power distribution and motor control products for the company. But the company is known for its energy saving capabilities, energy saving products, and our Go Green initiatives for our plants and for our customers' plants. So we do this worldwide. It's a goal of the company. First of all, in our company to be carbon neutral by 2030. But our products are integrated. They're all intelligent, smart breakers, smart motor control centers, smart drives and soft starts, creating a plant of the future that can easily save energy and go green. Yeah. As far as the products that the SSDI uses, the panel boards and the switchboards is a backbone of our business. And the the backbone of that business is the eye-line panel. The eye-line panel is a design we've had since 1967. It hasn't changed much. Breakers used in 1967 could easily be used today on the
that's true.
On the eye-line panel.
Yeah.
We update our breakers and we make them fit the eye-line panel. So breakers that were thermomagnetic, 50, 60 years ago are now electronic trip communications and various trips to measure various items such as harmonics, power, voltage, and that sort of thing, and display it right on the breaker. So we build these things with a package in mind to be able to communicate information from the breaker and the load of the breaker and communicate it through an EPMS system or even the BMS system for the building.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
And tell owners that there's a motor that's going to be overloading. It's pulling more amperage than it should. There's a problem. There's a potential problem here to allow for better reliability and predictability in maintenance. Those are the two big issues that people have.
Know ahead of time that you're going to have a problem than dealing with it at the moment when you know it's going to happen, when nobody's going to be available, nobody's going to be able to call or talk to. But yeah, that's a good idea.
A large motor fails in a production line, causes all kinds of problems, and it costs a lot of money until you get a new one online. And if the motor has to be rewound or needs a new bearing, repairs are going to take more than a day, or even then you can cost millions of dollars in the course of a day or two to get that motor back online. If you know the motor's failing, if you know the motor's drawing more power or it's creating more heat, you can schedule a downtime and pull it off and replace it, or repair it and replace it, have it rebuilt, whatever you're going to do.
Yep.
It's predictable maintenance, and you keep your production going. That's what it does.
Yeah.
So all of that helps.
The
customers.
It certainly does. We haven't gotten to that far yet with the smart breakers. We do offer it, of course, to our customers, and we're starting to see more and more that data-driven ability to, like you said, predictive maintenance or preventive maintenance. You can schedule it instead of not being able to schedule it. I mean, another thing you pointed out was the workhorse behind everything is the eye-line panel. I mean, that and the compactability, if that's a word, for the Squarity QOB breakers and how they can fit into a 72 circuit panel or an 84 circuit panel versus to some of the competitors of yours where yours can fit into a smaller area versus Eaton or Siemens where theirs spreads out into a larger format, which hence our name, Space Saver Distribution. We like that ability to compact our design and be able to utilize Squarity's space saving on their panels and stuff.
Now, we offer that in some different configurations, like including the shortened rail, so the same mounting height.
Yep,
and, that's a great OEM product that is very popular. And yes, as far as you talk about the QOB breaker as being a standard backbone breaker, but even that breaker is being looked at, and some of the things will be targeted in the future. We were talking even yesterday about our residential breakers.
Oh, really?
That have chips in them. For arc fault production and ground fault protection. Those breakers are updated, I guess update is the best way. Software loaded into those chips every 3 months or so to accommodate new appliances.
Changes in the industry.
We try to protect, for instance, a dryer, a home dryer that used to be wired where the ground and the neutral are wired together, and now you're forced to put a ground fault breaker on it, and it's going to trip. It's going to cause a lot of complaints. So we have to be on the lookout for that, and it's one of the things that we kind of look for and update in our breakers and in our smart homes as well. So. There are people trying to develop load centers that the breakers in there will be programmable from the screen, from the front screen.
I gotcha. Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
You can tell if it's a motor load where the breaker will see a surge or spike as the motor starts, and ignore it so it doesn't trip, as long as it does. The motor, the spike is within a certain period of time. And then point out that this is supposed to be a ground fault because it's near water, or this is supposed to be an arc fault because it's in a bedroom, and program it from the screen. Yeah. So that's coming.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, everything technology wise is changing so fast, and you have to stay on top of that, or you'll get passed by because things are just changing. I mean, daily, everything. I mean, stuff that we're seeing that we thought we had, an idea for comes out next day and it's totally different. So we have to redesign and do whatever. But yeah, that's nice to know that the company on top.
The company does spend a lot of time and money on its R&D. And we've developed, a common problem, a common complaint is people having to work on live equipment. And have to turn it on and off. Beware the PPE gear, and it's dangerous. Frankly, it's dangerous.
It is.
And they try to do all kinds of things to mitigate the risk. But what we've done is, in some cases, you can turn the breaker on and off remotely via Bluetooth. So you are out of the area. You're within. You're not 2 miles away. You're 30 feet away, but you could be behind the wall, obviously, and turn that breaker on and off, and not even have to wear PPE gear. You're not in the range.
You're not in the range.
So there's no risk to somebody's personal safety.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. We have a customer of ours that we designed a system using the PL breakers for the QOB 120 PL. I think that's the proper part number, where they can go in remotely through our PLC and turn the breaker off. It's exactly that same thing. It's for service. They were worried about store personnel going in and turning breakers on and off for certain items. It was actually for fueling dispensers. And they didn't want just store people going to the back room trying to figure out what breaker it is. So all they have to do is just call somebody and say, okay, I need to shut off dispenser 1, 2. The signs in, it turns it off, lets the tech or whatever they need to do with that fix it, and then they turn it back on. So it has a delay, but that's some of the same, premises. The breaker's not smart. It just senses, on-off voltage, but that's interesting to know that coming out
Yeah,
with smart QOB breakers.
That it's something, isn't it?
Yeah.
For an inexpensive breaker to have that kind of capability is going to be terrific.
Well, yeah, especially for people that are into the maintenance. I mean, they'll know ahead of time if something's gonna fail, which is great, which is nice. People just have to figure out what to do with that data or who's gonna monitor it and take care of it. But
we do on our breakers with our intelligent systems and software, which is where we really excel as a software for these things. You can program the software to notify someone via text message that there's a problem.
Yeah.
Now that someone could be someone working in the plant manager, the plant maintenance engineer, the plant engineer, period. Or it can be the electrical contractor that is
in charge of maintenance.
That they call for their work.
Their work, yeah.
So he gets the call saying, such and such a motor has got trouble. And he calls and they get together with it and schedule it and take care of it. Where it makes the electrical contractor a key player.
Yeah,
with that
tool,
particular customer.
A relationship valuable tool.
That's exactly
that.
right. It puts him in the driver's seat with that account that they're calling him.
Yeah,
rather than calling themselves or calling us or somebody else on the phone book.
Yeah,
So
just anybody. Yeah, I've got a failure.
If he's there and on their list, you can figure that he's installed the equipment and pretty much knows
the system.
Knows the system.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. Well, no, that's good. Yeah, that's good to know that they're moving forward with that, because I'm sure we have some customers that would love to have that capability of the smart breaker. And we currently do it now through our PLC with some monitoring stuff, but it'd be nice to be able to do that through a breaker itself instead of having all that. And of course it takes programming and stuff, but yeah, that's a good little idea. It's nice
we have the software runs the gamut of, depending on what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
All the way up to a full blown system. But you can monitor as few points as you want to monitor, and you can monitor a 15 amp point as well as a 3,000 amp point. So it works the same way.
Yeah, we used to have a joke around here. Dorothy would say, when we were doing our remote monitoring with our PLC, she would tell somebody, if you want to flush a toilet, you can flush a toilet through the PLC. Is basically what it comes down to. She's right. She's completely right. It's just another analogy. You want to turn a breaker off, and you want to flush a toilet, so you can.
I just don't want electricity flowing in my toilet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that might not be a good idea. Maybe a remote sensor somewhere for, yeah, that would be bad. But yeah, I mean, I think we started with Square D probably about 5-6 years ago. And, we've had numerous people throughout that we've dealt with. But one thing, the product is very, very reliable. I mean, we haven't had, other than a few breakers here and there, which is bound to happen I would think we'd probably gone through millions of breakers by now. I don't know the exact count, but it's been a good product for us. We're happy to use it, and some of our customers love Square D versus, the other competitors out there, and we'll continue to use them.
I have to tell you that one of the nice parts about that, I like working with Square D or Schneider Electric. I really like this company for a lot of reasons. One of them is the reliability.
Oh, yeah.
I don't, honestly, if I get 2 phone calls a year about somebody saying one of our products is defective, it's a lot. And the phone calls that we've had that I've gotten I've been with the company now 10 years, and the phone calls I've received, I think we have gotten one actual defective product. Everything else proved to be some other reason.
Yeah,
the person didn't test it properly, or
hook it up right,
or hooked it up right.
Yeah.
Or it was an overload. It wasn't a defect. It was doing what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, your breaker tripped. Well, that's what it's supposed to do.
So it's really, we had somebody fool around with one of our switchboards.
Oh, really?
And it was mounted outside, and it caused some damage to it, and it was under warranty. So I was talking to the electrical contractor who had installed it, and he asked me what we're going to do about it. And we started discussing what we were going to do, how we were going to handle it, and how fast it could be replaced, and so on and so forth. He said to me, he goes, we had a meeting this morning because the electrical contractor acted like a army maneuver. It was the equipment they had to bring in and the work that they had to do to get that building back up and running. Was phenomenal. And they did it literally in a few hours.
Okay.
And so we were talking the next day, and he had his team there. They had a meeting that morning, and he asked them if anybody had ever worked on equipment or ever had a problem with squirty equipment failing while it was under warranty. And the answer was no. And he asked me the same question, and I said, no, I haven't. And I've been dealing with squirty equipment since the mid-'70s. And in that room, there was well over 100 years of combined experience.
Yeah.
No one's ever had a problem with the equipment. That is a great thing to know. And as far as reliability, it makes my job that much more easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not having to deal with.
Yeah, I got a bad breaker.
there. It causes trouble.
The only thing that we've really come across with the breakers is, and it's been, few and far between, is during shipping sometimes, how freight companies are. We will have some of the breakers when they come here, the plastic might break off. I mean, we get a replacement. It's no big deal. But as far as actual failure, it's far in between. I mean, obviously, people will hook things up wrong. They might, oh yeah, you got a bad breaker. Well, I don't think it's a bad breaker. There's something else happened to it to cause it to be bad. But yeah, I agree with you that we haven't had a whole lot of reliability issues on.
Yeah, even yesterday, I had a demo case that I was going to show, and the guy who sent me the demo case told me to open it up and check because the connections fall off.
Yeah.
So I plugged it in, turned it on, and got nothing. So I opened it up and found 3 connections that had fallen off the spade terminals. It happens.
It happens. Yeah. And that's why one of the things we always tell our electricians when we talk to them before it ships, like, hey, pay attention. During vibration, things do move. Even though they get torqued here and tested, things do move, and it happens. It's just part of electrical connections. So.
I asked our IPAX team, is our integrated products, and why they don't terminate the panels from the switchboard to the panels. And he said because it would just leave the wires hanging, and in transit, they would they could loosen.
Yeah.
And people may not check it and not tighten it, and now you're going to cause arcing and sparking.
Yeah.
So they simply cut the wire and trim it and mark it and curl it up and leave it in the equipment so that the guys can field install it and be field installed properly, and it won't be a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can't. I mean, putting something on a truck in the Southeast and sending it out to the West Coast, it's just going to, it's going to rattle and shake. It's on the road for a week. So
exactly. Yeah. They care. The truck, I'm not slamming truck drivers by any means, but there are some out there that don't care about the load, and it's all about how fast they can get it there. And by the time some of this stuff shows up, I mean, I've personally been on sites to fix, but
I don't know. They put it on a truck. It's on a truck for a week. It's just bouncing around.
It is.
It's being offloaded to get onto another truck.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's being handled. It's a tough visit or a tough transportation from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Yeah, there's Square D's next business ventures. Just snap your fingers in your switchgear and all your panels are lined up on the wall. Just show up, no shipping, just done.
We like to have our idea is to build. My idea anyway is to build plants on the West Coast and have the equipment made here as well.
Yeah, that would be nice. Please push for that, because that would help us immensely. We'll just go to the factory and plant and pick it up ourselves.
We have opened plants. We have opened in the West. We've opened new ones. We've expanded the product lines, especially for breakers in those plants, because we're well aware of the problem we have making breakers.
Yeah.
It's helped. It has helped a bit. It doesn't appear to be that way. Our backorder situation has improved dramatically.
Well, good.
But the workload or the demand for the product continues to grow, and nobody sees it. Nobody can feel it yet.
Yeah.
But it's has gotten better.
Yeah. We haven't personally seen it yet. Stuff is trickling in more, but the construction industry for Square D, for our customers that use Square D, they're not slowing down. They're just continually,
isn't that something?
Buying and and that kind of stuff too. So it's like, okay, Square D, you need to start picking it up a little bit, but we understand. I mean, it's just the way it is right now. The industry,
we've tried to pick it up. We've expanded the plant's production floors. We've sent people home to work from home and taken that office space and made it into production space.
Can you make breakers? Engineer making breakers.
We're building a new plant in Smyrna, Tennessee. There's on the same piece of property. We have an empty lot that we're building more plant on. We just opened a new plant in El Paso. It's our third one there.
Wow.
And even the equipment, the switchboard that runs the El Paso plant, where they build switchboards, they had to wait to get their switchboard.
That's right. You did tell us that. Square D's having a problem giving it their own stuff.
Our own stuff. We couldn't get. But we're doing a lot to do that, and hoping it'll. Once we get past the global supply chain,
yes, exactly.
And we get past the fact that we need chips. Yeah, we need rare earth minerals. Plastics, steel,
everything that goes into breakers and panels. I mean, that's basically what it comes down
to. We're doing things about it. We've done other things. We've opened, like I said, open plants, open production lines within plants, trying to get new plastic resins designed and approved so we can build breakers with using a different plastic than we've been using.
Oh, that makes sense.
At least a secondary plastic.
Yeah.
But rare earth minerals, that one of the big suppliers of that is Ukraine, and it's what you can do about that. There's nothing you can do about that. Shutting the mine down in Ukraine or shutting plants down in Asia. That
it hurts everybody. Yeah, it does, because those minerals and materials are used not just in our industry, but across everywhere. Everywhere you go, it's going to affect it. So
we don't have the priority that the car people have, or the
we don't build cars. Not yet, anyways.
So it's hard. It's a difficult problem, and lead times are getting longer. And we don't really see an end in sight for at least a year. So.
Yeah, and we're doing our best we can, obviously, with our customers. I mean, there's different options, and stuff like that, as we well know. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to move customers to other products because they're building and stuff like that. But yeah, it has been the most challenging probably year. Well, not even year, 5 months that we've had just getting stuff on a timely basis. It's no fault of Square D. It's just the industry.
Yeah, it's the industry.
So the whole industry is like this. So it's been a challenge to move stuff around. Find it here, find it there, put it all together. So yeah, hopefully soon, but it sounds like it's going to be a year, but we'll do our best as we always do. So
when the pandemic hit in March of 2020,
2020,
our business fell off like everybody else's business.
Yeah.
And there was an expectation that it was going to continue to fall off. But by June, it was back up and running stronger. And it frankly surprised us at the demand.
Yeah.
And it was a scramble to try to meet it. And it was okay for a little while.
Yeah.
But then it kicked in around the world, and you just couldn't get parts.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. And I do see it getting better. It just, like you said, takes some time, but hopefully sooner than later. But we'll see. We'll always get through. That's why we're here. That's why we're still in business. So.
I saw a news story yesterday. They were talking about the improvement in the port of Los Angeles.
Oh,
that the ships waiting to be offloaded were 100 ships not more than a few months ago, and now it's down to 50.
Oh, really?
Well, 50 ships is still large.
Yeah, still got those ships aren't little tiny boats. No, they hold a lot of stuff.
It's amazing how many of those containers they hold. But,
I know.
But it's all geared now towards Christmas to get the consumer products out onto the shelves for the Christmas season and the back to school season. They're already talking about that.
So it's got to be the stuff that is, the old stuff for 2021 and later.
Yeah.
So, but good. Mike, I appreciate you being on the show today. Please let everybody know where they can go to find more information about Square D Schneider Electric products.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It was fun doing this. The Schneider Electric website is schneider-electric.com or se.com. You'll find a full range of our products, both distribution, motor control products, automation products, and our building maintenance products, as well as our APC is our power supply people and the UPS people. We've also taken on the ASCO company. We've purchased them last year. ASCO has their own website right now. They're a well-known company for their automatic transfer and manual transfer switches, as well as their paralleling gear. And APC is well known for the UPS equipment.
UPS, yeah.
And especially the equipment that we use in data centers.
Wow,
so,
you got to have that.
All of that is available on the website, and please visit. It's a great company.
Yeah, great. That sounds good. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, everyone, for listening today. If you enjoyed the show and want to be notified when new episodes get released, please subscribe to our show on your favorite listening app. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Click on the links in the show notes below. Also, your feedback would mean the world to us. Help our listeners in our trade find us by giving us 5-star rating and review in Apple Podcast or your favorite listening app. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.